Janardana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinata Radha Gopinata Radhe Jaya Radha Partasati Radha Partasati Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Sita Ram Jaya Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Go Haribo 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 Go Haribo Misapad Pramsa Pribrajikacharya Astotarasa Chisimat His Divine Grace Shilabai Sharanar Binda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai Yam Misapad Pramsa Pribrajikacharya Astotarasa Chisimat His Divine Grace Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nantakoti Vaishnava Binda Ki Jai Jai Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Vataraguna Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatadasa Raguna Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Shri Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Binda Ki Jai Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopina Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dham Ki Jai Sinavadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Gangamai Ki Jai Yamunamai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Books Distribution Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna. So today we're reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 17, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in his youth, text 43 and 44. So we read first myself, text 44 there. I'll read the text before that is in the board. It doesn't have a purport, and then we'll read the next one. Tabe Saba Shista Loka Kare Hahakara Aiche Karma Heta Kaila Kore Kondurachara. Then all the assembled gentlemen explained, "What is this? What is this? Who has performed such mischievous activities? Who is that sinful man?" Next text. Hadike aniya savadura karaila Jalagomaya diye se stana lepaila Hadike aniya savadura karaila Jalagomaya diye se stana lepaila Hadike aniya sabadura karaila Jalagomaya diye se stana lepaila Hadike sabadura karaila Matajis. Okay. Matajis. Word for word meaning, Hadike, a sweeper. Anya, calling. Saba, all. Dura karaila, cause to be thrown far. Jala, water. Gomaya, kaudang. Die, mixing. Say, that. Stana, place. Lipaila, cause to be smeared over. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. They called for a sweeper, Hadi, who threw all the items of worship far away and cleansed the place by mopping it with a mixture of water and cow dung. Everybody please repeat. They called for a sweeper, Hadi, who threw all the items of worship far away and cleansed the place by mopping it with a mixture of water and cow dung. Purport. The men in Vedic society who engage in public sanitary activities like picking up stool and sweeping the street are called Hadis. Sometimes they are untouchable, especially when engaged in their profession, yet such Hadis also have the right to become devotees. This is established by Sri Bhagavad Gita 9:32, where the Lord declares, Mam hi parta vyapasritya ye pishu papayonaya striyo vaishyas tata sudras tepi yanti param gatim. O son of Prita, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Sudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. There are many untouchables of the lower caste in India, but according to Vaishnava principles, everyone is welcome to accept this Krishna consciousness movement on the spiritual platform of life, and thus be freed from trouble. Neither equality nor fraternity is possible on the material platform. When Lord Chaitanya declares Trinad api sunichena tarur iva sahisnuna, he indicates that one must be above the material conception of life. When one thoroughly understands that he is not the material body, but a spiritual soul, he is even humbler than a man of the lower caste, for he is spiritually elevated. Such humility in which one thinks himself lower than the grass is called sunichatva, and being more tolerant than a tree is called sahisnutva, forbearance. Being situated in devotional service, not caring for the material conception of life, is called amanitva, indifference to material respect. Yet a devotee thus situated is called manodha, for he is prepared to give honor to others without hesitation. Mahatma Gandhi started the Harijan movement to purify the untouchables, but he was a failure because he thought that one could become a Harijan, a personal associate of the Lord, through some kind of material adjustment. That is not possible. Unless one fully realizes that he is not the body but is a spiritual soul, there is no question of his becoming a Harijana. Those who do not follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his disciplic succession cannot distinguish between matter and spirit, and therefore all their ideas are but a mixed up hodgepodge of problems. They are virtually lost in the bewildering network of Maya Devi. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport and the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 17, text 44. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurung Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakambitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinavando Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vindavanesvare Visabhano Sute Deve Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivash Adi Gaura Bhaktabinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hadike Aniya Saba Dura Karaila Jalago Maya Diya Se Stana Lipaila. So in this part of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pastimes of Shiva's Thakur being tried to be defamed by one non-believer, atheist, supposed to be a Brahmana only by name, Gopal Chapala. Because in those days, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, they used to perform their Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy name, behind closed doors. This is to prevent the non-believers and atheists to misunderstand them and to commit offenses. But this Gopal Champu, who is the head of the non-believers, he made a plot in such a way that Shiva's Thakur, where they're doing their kirtan, prepared different items to look like Shiva's Thakur is worshipping Bhavani, Durga worshipper. Putting different items such as wine and meat and so on, so that the next day they will scold Shiva's Thakur that he's just a pretender trying to look like a devotee of the Supreme Lord, Vaishnava, but actually he is a Durga worshipper. And Shiva's Thakur, being a Vaishnava, is very humble. He said, yes, this is what I'm doing actually. I'm worshipping Bhavani or Durga. That's why you see all of these different items. But then, the devotees, says here, the assembled gentlemen, that means Vaishnavas. Prabhupada says, a Vaishnava is automatically a gentleman. And what says, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says also, that this place, this world is not a place for gentlemen. You do your duty and get out immediately. So, to save the name of Shiva's Thakur, the gentleman immediately says, what is this? Who has performed this sinful, mischievous activity? Only a heinous, most degraded personality will do this to a Vaishnava like Shiva's Thakur. So immediately they ask and call for a sweeper, a hadi, to throw all of these items of worship far away and cleanse the place by mopping it with a mixture of water and cow dung, gomaya, gomataki. Maybe they also use Ganga Jal. Very purifying. Everything that is in connection with Gomata is very purifying. Even the cow dung. That in India, they use, some villagers, they use them for cooking as fuel. That is the first class cooking that you can have. Next is wood. Next is what? This gas. And next is the stove. And who knows what is next after that? Huh? Electric and so on. Microwave. Oh, that is the worst. Got it. Thank you. Instead of becoming healthy, you'll get radioactivities of the components. So, Gomata is very special, very purifying, that it purifies everything. Even in deity worship, we use these different items coming from the cow, yogurt, milk, cow urine, and cow dung also during the Abhishek installation. Every day we try to drink anyway, cow urine. We go parikrama going to Yamuna, and then when we come back, in our gosha, we get fresh gomutra, cow urine. Purifying. It puts you in a mode of goodness, especially if you are so close to the cow. And it says also that if you have a high blood pressure, any devotees here, because they cannot, figure out how to serve Krishna the best, you get high blood pressure, you can just pat the cow at the back every day. It's like a therapy, and your blood pressure will come down. We have some devotees who have high blood pressure. Maybe they're not chanting enough also. So, this Hadi, on the way to Loi Bazaar from Vrindavan Temple, Krishna Balaram Mandir, there is a colony there that you'll pass by. The sweepers, the untouchables. Probably notice them. Just pass by the that intersection going to Banki Bihari. After that, they're considered as untouchables because of the work that they do. They're sweepers. Even the stool they will touch, they will clean. This is their work. So, in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement, even those who are untouchables are qualified to get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. What does mercy mean? Mercy means to receive something that you do not deserve it, but you receive it anyway, whether you like it or not, because it is good for you. Mercy of the Supreme Lord is for everyone. No one is disqualified. As Titikshava Karunika Prabhu mentioned that last night before the show, or during the show, that this kirtan, this chanting of the holy name is for everyone. Young or old, rich or poor, educated or non-educated, man or woman, no one is disqualified. Everyone is qualified. And even the most fallen, they're the most qualified. Where can you get that? You can have the best sale in the material world. You cannot get that sale. 100% off. Where can you get 100% off? Usually 50% or 75% off. No. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is free for everyone. No condition. Even those, it says here, Bhagavad Gita, it was quoted by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. Even those who are lower birth, like women, Vaishya, and Sudras, they can also attain the supreme destination. It's very important to understand this because our movement is like this. Unlike other societies, spiritual societies, they have condition. If you cannot donate a certain amount of money, you cannot be a member. In some societies, you have to have a certain kind of education, then you can be accepted. In some societies, you have to be having a certain kind of social status, then you can be accepted. For us, no. Mercy is equal to everyone. As Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, no one is my friend and no one is my enemy. He is impartial. He is equal to everyone. We're all children of God. We have one common Father, Lord Krishna. So in this spiritual platform, this is the basis. As long as we can understand that we're not the body, we're spirit souls, then we are able to receive this mercy. But even though we don't understand that we're not the body or spirit souls, as soon as we chant the holy name of the Lord, we come ultimately in the spiritual platform. So, Srila Prabhupada, he has given us perfect, pure, and unchanging and eternal process. Unalloyed. That's what he called unalloyed. When Prabhupada was in America, he saw this in Boston. He saw this sign, unalloyed steel, under the bridge. This is probably where he took that unalloyed, means uncontaminated, unstained. When one chants the holy name of the Lord, automatically one comes to the spiritual platform. Beyond mental, intellectual, bodily platform. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains though in the Siksastaka how one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly, incessantly, continuously, uninterrupted, 24 hours a day. It is not that we only chant when we have our japa with us. Of course, most of us always have the japa mala on our neck, right? That doesn't mean though that we only chant with the japa. We can also chant without the japa. One time I was traveling in the Philippines and I forgot my japa mala. And my mother was there and I said, oh, I forgot my japa mala. Maybe we should go back and get from the house. She says, no, you can chant without the japa mala. And that is true. However, to chant the holy name of the Lord constantly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave the formula. Trinadapi sunechena taror iva sahisnuna amanena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. He says that one should be more humbler than a blade of grass. Now, the blade of grass is already lying on the street. Very low. Same level as the street. But they're more humbler than a blade of grass. That means you must be under the street. That must be really low. Considered as very, very dirty and very low. It's like Varahadev when he appeared as a boar incarnation. He's the only one who can pick up in the filthy place the planet Earth. Now Srila Prabhupada, he also saved us. We're like under the street. We're like in the nali. You know what's nali? Nali means, canal. Where the dirty water flows. And that is under the road or the street level. So he picked us up like Varahadev. He picked us up under. We're that dirty. We're that contaminated. I don't know about you. I'm sure some of you were born in the Brahminical family, in India especially, so you're born in a very high caste. But for us who took birth from the West or non-Brahminical family, we're considered as low caste. Very low. Chandalas, milechas, dog eaters, meat eaters. That's really low class. But Srila Prabhupada saved us. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saved us. Be humbler than a blade of grass in the street, more tolerant than a tree. Suni chatva, that is more lower than the grass, and more tolerant than a tree. Sahisnutva, forbearance. Now a tree, whether it's summer, whether it is winter, whether you cut, whatever you want to do with the tree will not say, no, or I need help, give me some cloth, or water me. Forbearance. Very, very steady and not asking for anything. Steady, fixed, forbearance, the tree. Even if you cut it, Prabhupada says in one of the purports, the tree will not shout, please don't cut me. So a devotee should be like this also. Whether he's being criticized or blasphemed, he should not be, he should be untainted. He should not be, what you may say, not concerned. Because he knows that he's not the body. He knows his spirit soul. It's like Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is transcendental. So the devotee should be transcendental. He said in one of the purports in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the Supreme Lord is transcendental. And he is not affected whether he is blasphemed or he is being glorified. For him is the same. And he gives equal results, whether you blaspheme him or you glorify him. Like the demons. When the demons blaspheme or criticize Lord Krishna, they also get killed by Lord Krishna and they attain liberation. When we glorify the Supreme Lord, worship him, offer obeisances unto him, remember him, we also get liberation. Either ways. It says in the purport, one of the purports in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this is in the case of Shishupal. Shishupal also, who is always blaspheming the Supreme Lord. When he took birth, there was a boon that he will not die, even if he blasphemed the Supreme Lord 99 times. Only he will die on the 100th time. And he was doing it. He was born to curse and blaspheme Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna, 99 times, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then on the 100th time, he was not ready to kill him, actually. But others are so disturbed that he was forced to use his chakra and to cut the head of Shishupal. Of course, Shishupal is none other than one of the chokidars in the Vaikuntha, Jai and Vijay. And he attained Sayuja Mukti. Isvara Sayuja. There are two kinds of Sayuja. Brahma Sayuja and Isvara Sayuja. Isvara Sayuja means merging in the body. And Brahma Sayuja means merging into the Brahman effulgence, which is the effulgence coming from the transcendental form of the Supreme Lord. And then after that, Shishupal attained his original position in the spiritual world as one of the gatekeepers. So, perseverance. Being situated in devotional service, not caring for material conception, is called amanatva, indifference to material respect. If one wants to chant the holy name of the Lord constantly, then he should be also indifference to material respect. Amanitva. When I took sannyas, before taking sannyas, I asked one sannyasi in Mayapur, what should be the quality that one should develop being a sannyas. And he says that one should be indifferent. Indifference means not so much concern whether they offer you a palatial building to stay or a small cottage with just bare necessities. Whether they send you a Rolls Royce or a Maruti Suzuki to pick you up from the airport. Whether they give you an opulent old mahapasad or just simple boiled sabji. You should not be so concerned. This is what you mean by indifference. Whether you are being blasphemed or you're being glorified, you should be indifferent. Because ultimately, whatever is happening to us is for our own betterment. Krishna always wish the best for us. Krishna always make arrangement what is best for us. Whatever is going on to us right now is for our own betterment. It may be a punishment that we are receiving right now, or it may be some kind of reward that we are receiving right now. Ultimately, if we are, for example, getting some punishment due to our karma from the past, ultimately it is for our own purification, and we'll get more and more closer to Krishna. Now, if we don't see it in that way, we will always think that, oh, why am I like this? Why am I suffering? Who is the cause of this? I know I did not do anything in the past that I have to suffer like this. This is what I call indifference. Indifference to material respect. Yet a devotee is situated. A devotee that's situated is called manada. For he is prepared to give honor to others without hesitation. Yes. A devotee is ready, willing to do anything and everything for Krishna. Irregardless of anything was going on to him. Even if there is some impediments or failures that he is facing, this should be to make him strong. Impediments and failures make us strong if we don't give up. As soon as one gives up, then you become weak. Does it make sense? But if we don't give up, even though there's so many failures or impediments or hindrances, and we still continue on and on and on, then we'll become stronger and stronger every time. Just like an athlete. An athlete lost a competition, he will practice more until he becomes so good that he will win the competition. Similarly, we're in a war against Maya, war against our mind, always putting us into trouble. But we keep persevere, determined, keep going, irregardless of what happened. And the reason that we are weak is because we are lacking our desire to ultimately become a pure devotee. So Mahatma Gandhi started this Harijan movement to purify the untouchables, but Prabhupada says he was a failure because he thought that one could become a Harijan, a personal associate of the Lord, through some kind of material adjustment. No, not possible. Just putting a stamp. Just putting a stamp that, yes, Harijana. It's like in Vrindavan, there are two kinds of personalities. Brajajana and Brajabasi. Brajajana means those who took birth in Vrindavan. Prabhupada says they don't need spiritual master because Krishna is their spiritual master. And sometimes it's very, very dangerous when they join, not all, It's not an offense. When they join our movement, they cause problems. We had experience of that in the past. Because of their birth in Vrindavan, and they think they're superior than anybody else. And that is very dangerous. They may have taken birth in Vrindavan, that is very, very good. But then they should act also. And that's why Prabhupada says, don't get too close to them, because you may also offend them. You will not understand them. They may not follow what all of our principles are. That doesn't make them less, though. So be careful. And then one can become a Brajabasi by staying there for some time and living, performing devotional service. So, but this Harijan, this untouchable, can become a devotee of Hari, Lord Krishna, by just stamping them, putting a stamp that yes, you are now a personal associate of the Supreme Lord, without following any rules and regulations. So that is not our principle, that is not our philosophy. One must adhere to the process by following the sadhana bhakti in order to attain prema bhakti. One must perform austerities, get up early in the morning, perform their sadhana strictly, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the prescribed number of rounds. And Srila Prabhupada says that along chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one should read my books. He says that the only criticism that I have to my disciples is that they are not reading enough my books. Now the Sastras, they were recorded by the sadhus to remind us the futility of the material energy. And ultimately, Prabhupada wrote these books, or translated these books, to convince us to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We cannot go back home, back to Godhead, without chanting purely the holy name of the Lord. Maya can easily take over if we don't chant purely the holy name of the Lord. But if there is, along with the chanting, the knowledge that is given from the Sastra to accompany, then it will convince us to chant purely the holy name of the Lord. Because most of the times, not sometimes, most of the times we chant mechanically. Because, I have to finish my rounds. I have to finish. This is what I agreed with my Guru Maharaj. 16 rounds, yes. I have to do it. Even without taking seriously the reason why we're chanting. But once in a while, when we become mechanical, not once in a while, most of the times when we become mechanical, it'll be a good practice. You quote or you open a book, you can do that. When you're nodding and you're losing the taste of chanting, you can open a verse, your favorite sloka, read it, that will give you strength again and inspiration, then continue chanting. There's nothing wrong with that. Instead of like fighting to chant, and then you just ended up fighting the holy name. course. Huh? So, we have to give up the shackles of Maya if we wish to become Krishna conscious. The shackles of Maya are very, very strong. This in the matter of women, money, and designation. We have to have a good radar detector, just like in America. They have radar detector. They have them also here. But now there is no anti-radar detector. In America, there is the police. They have this anti-radar detector. When you drive fast, they can tell. Now in America, they have this machine that they can tell whether if the police is there. Right? So they can sense, oh, the police is there. Oh, I have to slow down. So we should have that kind of anti-radar detector against Maya. When we see that Maya actually is starting to creep in, then our anti-radar detector should be very, very strong, sensitive, that, I better be careful. I better be careful. I have to change my course. My mind is telling me to go to Maya, to a different direction besides Krishna. I better change my direction. Then we can be safe. And the safest is to chant in the association of devotees. Some devotees, they chant in their room. They ended up sleeping and doing something else. Read, especially chant and read. There's a two combination. We had a meeting in Mayapur, the leaders, the Guru, the GBC, and Sannyasi. Last March, before Gaur Purnima. And the conclusion is, we are not reading enough again. See, we are like the third generation. Prabhupada is the first generation. Prabhupada's disciples are the second generations. The disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they are the third generation. And the fourth generation will be the disciple of the disciple of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Now, how can we be sure that the fourth generation will be taken care of? That they will continue, and because we're going to be here, Prabhupada says, for the next 10,000 years. How can we be sure that the fourth generation will be able to be smoothly and be able to practice Krishna consciousness according to the teachings of Srila Prabhupada? And it boils down that we should read and study carefully Srila Prabhupada's books. Because if we don't do it now, the fourth generation will not be able to survive. Not possible. We have to set the pace right now. And it's being done. Many areas, many avenues are being created. VIHE, MIHE, correspondence, many seminars going on. Yes, but for those who are not able to attend those, we still have to study. Besides the morning Bhagavatam class or the evening Bhagavad Gita class, every day Prabhupada says we should read minimum 1 hour. In Vrindavan, we made a sadhana sheet for the brahmacharis. It says in the sadhana sheet, how many hours you hear Srila Prabhupada's lecture. How many hours you read Prabhupada's books. How many hours you take rest during the daytime. What time you go to sleep. We're doing a little bit of, this is for their benefit of the brahmacharis. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful. We're given this opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime, and we should take advantage of that. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. One point is there that Srivas Pandit was very careful not to be blasphemed, because this was the whole society of devotees, and if he is blasphemed, then all the devotees are being blasphemed. And we also have to be very careful that if you are blasphemed, then whole ISKCON society is blasphemed. So that is why Srivas Pandit gathered very gentlemen who will understand the reality. Although he does not disclose the reality, but he spoke in such a way, these gentlemen will understand the reality, and they really criticize somebody has done this mischief. So this was the plan of Srivas Pandit, that he wanted some other persons who will favor him. So this is the point that we should make.
Better he accept. If one commits a mistake, better accept it and not to have others be involved. Because if he takes the responsibility, then others will be saved. Is that what you mean?
No. My point is, Srivas Pandit gathered gentlemen, not ordinary persons.
Yes.
Ordinary persons will understand, yes, Srivas Pandit is in fault. So he gathered gentlemen who will understand the reality, although Srivas Pandit is taking fault for himself. But he is gathered gentlemen who will understand the reality, and they criticize that person, some person has done this mischief.
Yes. Anything else? You have any other point? Okay.
हरे कृष्ण महाराज, एक प्रश्न है, जैसे कि यहाँ पे जो श्रीवास ठाकुर हैं वो तो अपने ऊपर ले रहे हैं ये बात, पर जो जानने वाले लोग हैं, कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं कि उन्होंने जान लिया कि सच बात क्या है, और वो जान गए कि ये श्रीवास ठाकुर के ऊपर एक गलत आरोप है। तो इस तरह से कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है वैष्णव समाज में कि कुछ गलत आरोप लगाए जाते हैं, तो और सामने ही होता है, पर दूसरे भक्त उसको जानना नहीं चाहते हैं, या क्या गलत है क्या सही है उसका निर्णय भी नहीं करना चाहते हैं, और वो जो है एक सामान्य धरातल पे ही बने रहते हैं कि इसी तरह से बस चलना है, कुछ किसी के साथ कुछ गलत हो रहा है तो उसको भी नहीं देखना चाहते। पर यहाँ पे एक शिक्षा मिल रही है कि वो तुरंत ही जान गए, जो सामान्य लोग हैं वो जान गए कि नहीं, श्रीवास ठाकुर सही है, इनके ऊपर गलत आरोप लगाए। तो मेरा प्रश्न है कि इस दिशा में मतलब कैसा वो होना चाहिए मनोभाव, अगर कुछ हमारे सामने सीनियर भक्तों का अपमान होता है तो हमें कैसी मनोदशा रखनी चाहिए ऐसे भक्तों के प्रति। हरे कृष्ण।
Translation. What did he say?
His question is that...
it's a question.
Yeah, his question is, just like Srivas Pandit, when he was taking fault on himself, but the other persons, they understood that Srivas Pandit is not in fault, some other person is faulty and he has done this mischief. So, but some senior devotee is being blasphemed or criticized, then what is our duty, what we should do?
Defend them. Defend them. We have to defend. If you don't do it, then you are part of that